Hello everybody, my name is Kevin Charoensri. สวัสดีครับท่านผู้ชมผมชื่อกวินเจริญศรี Today I'm here with Zhengcheng or Momo, and thank you so much for being here with me. And we're doing your piece Bloom, originally for symphony orchestra, premiered here at MSU. I have the honor of guest conducting it with Bamsunret Rajapat University. So that's going to be great for the Thai Wind Composer International Festival. So obviously we're colleagues here in the music tech graduate assistant department, right? But talk to me about, and tell everyone just a little bit about your past. I know you're obviously from China. You started in pop, rock, went to Johns Hopkins for computer music, and then now here for the composition DMA. So just talk us through, just tell us a little bit about yourself and how, you as a person and you musically, how that was all formed.
Yeah, sure. Hi, I'm Momo Zhengcheng, and my path. I'm from China, and I have my undergrad in there, in Zhejiang Conservatory of Music. Then I pursuing my master in Johns Hopkins University Peabody Institute, and the doctor here, at Michigan State. And my music career, I think I have I think many Asian kids are start learning music either piano or violin or something since they are very, very young. But I'm not that kind of kid. I have started piano since I'm very, very young, just for 2 classes, for 2 hours, then I just drop it. And after that, I decide to choose music to add my career since high school. At that time, I played guitar in a rock band, and I'm the kind of the leader of that band. And so I do a lot of arrangement of other songs, or kind of do the mock-up to find the score, or kind of redo some scores for us to do the practice rehearsal. And I also write some my own songs. And as a songwriter, you definitely want to learn how to do the productions. So I go to a college in Zhejiang Conservatory of Music, major in music design and production. And then for master, my master is major in computer music. It's kind of the more technical side of the music production. Yes. And I think Peabody's computer music is kind of not that commercial. They are more kind of contemporary stuff. And of course, for the doctor is major in composition. So this path is more from a very, very pop, very commercial way, and to go to a very academy way.
No, that's really cool to hear. And I know a lot of your past with computer music and production has all film scoring, right? And the video game. Sure. I know you're working on a video game right now, scoring and stuff. So that's really cool to hear. So talk to us a little bit now about what music you do write, currently, on the regular. Do you mostly do electronic, acoustic, a little bit of both? What have you worked on in the past? What are you working on now? And then what are you hoping to work on in the future?
In past, you mean, okay. I think, in undergrad or kind of before undergrad, since high school to my undergrad, I mainly focus on commercial music, pop songs, music productions, and some film scoring, some game, and also do some multimedia installations music, doing with that. And it's very commercial stuff, and I think that part of time more rely on kind of the I have a very huge fancy sound library, visual instruments library. I think more relies on that kind of. I need good quality of sound, but actually how does that company made that sound? I'm kind of don't have idea about that. I just use them, and then I go in my master period. I more focus on electroacoustic stuff. At that time we learn how to really making that kind of sound, primarily from like the synthesizer or kind of from 0 to 1, build the synthesizer from a totally empty patch. And at that time, but yes, as I mentioned, Peabody, like the computer music in Peabody is kind of very technical stuff. Or this is also the question I'm always considering about, like for the computer music, for the electroacoustic stuff. I think nowadays people are more focused on the techniques they are using. They need like super fancy and like unnormal techniques. But for the music part, that's not that doable. That's not that funny. That's not that interesting for humans' ear. Or I will go to that kind of concert because I'm majoring this. But how about the normal audience that people don't care about your techniques. They just want to go to the concert for fun, for relax. But that's kind of, I think that's kind of the issue now the computer music is facing. That
it's like commercial versus like non or like more niche. Right?
Yes, like super avant-garde, or it's hard to find the balance between the kind of the super technical, like the fancy technique and the good music, because many times once you're focused too much on the techniques, the sound created will sound a little bit similar to each other. So so that's what I am trying to find the way, like how can I also have the good techniques, like looks very fancy, like looks like the way we are performing is very cool, very fancy, and also with a good sounds very good. And so that's why for the doctor I choose the composition, not a kind of like computer music or AI music or something. There are many like good university have. And for now, I think for now my music focus on both, or I think I'm very open to all the different genre of music. Because my music always changed a lot, but I think the most important thing for my music is that it should be loved by the audience, or they should have some melody, or although maybe the melody is always changing, but that's not I'm not that atonal person.
No, I get it. And I hear it with this piece, you give us really interesting things, and I hear the music production aspect as a pop music, like former kind of somewhat now still active pop music producer. I hear you use the horns for the resonance. You're just thinking like reverb plug in there, and then you use the conical brass the cylindrical brass to give that punch, So I hear it, which is really cool. So now, with this piece specifically, Bloom, which is originally for a symphony orchestra, bravo on the premiere again. I was at that concert, it was great. And then now we're setting it for winds. Talk to us a little bit about that piece. How it came about, the influences there, maybe some of the computer music influences, whether that came in or maybe you tried to not have that. Just tell us a little bit about the piece.
Yeah, sure. This piece, actually, it does not have a big story background. Because just my professor asked me, do you want to write a fanfare? Yes, and I will say yes, of course, and we just start working on that. And yes, because I'm not that good at writing like contemporary, even avant-garde, like atonal music. So this is, you can hear that this is have lots of melody and more like a film scoring stuff. And also because before this piece, all my kind of this orchestra stuff all the film scoring stuff I finished in DAW. I found that it's really interesting. It's really different for like when I'm writing the DAW or when I'm writing in the sheet, in the scores. It's cool, and try to find the new way to compose I treat it more like an film scoring stuff, but not like normal film scoring, there's a background music. They maybe can stay like no variations in maybe 30 seconds, but concert music cannot have that, right? So yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, I hear it. I mean, I know you said there's no story, but I think one of the coolest things about the whole piece is like, this is someone, and I knew a lot of people like this in my time producing in LA, someone, you know, like you, who's someone who has like this pop commercial background only in DAWs, and then you manage to come in and write, you know, a really beautiful and really, really like great piece. And I'm score setting it right now for conducting lessons, and it's, you know, there's a lot of really, really cool material in there. I think that's one of the coolest stories there. I know it doesn't really, you don't have a story with your piece, but I think that's like the really cool story. In Bloom, you know, I see that as like, you know, the musicality, you know, you going from just audio stuff and you're really good at, she's really good at audio stuff. And going into like the acoustic world. So I really hear that, and I think that's really cool. So as part of the Thai Wind Composer International Festival, you're going to be giving a session, right? And if I'm not mistaken, it's about the transition, that very same transition you were talking about from DAW production and audio world to notated music and acoustic music. So talk to us a little bit about the session you're giving. Just give us a little synopsis if you could.
Yeah, sure. For the session, we're gonna talk about from how can like or the producer, or if you're just a commercial songwriter, commercial music producer, to the concert music stuff. I think that's more easy. Or if you want to study like the concert music composition from zero, it's more easier to do transfer from a producer. Things, because I think we know lots of skills, like we have lots of tools to do that. We don't need to kind of just by imagine it. We have our DAW, we can do that.
Because I was the other way around, and I will say that was tough, because you go from like audiating in like Sibelius or whatever notation program, and then you're like, oh shoot, the DAW is the final product, right? So anyway, sorry to cut you off.
Sure.
But
and in that way, I think it's more easy to learn, and also we don't have any limitations. It's kind of our imaginations can be more full, because DAW can do everything, but of course that for the band, for the symphony band, for the wind band have lots of limitation.
Sure.
But I think finding like how to break that limitation is very funny, or how to kind of emulate, is that called?
Emulate,
how to emulate the sounds from your laptop to, and by using all the acoustic instruments are really cool.
Yeah. I remember you were just telling me, like, when we were in our office hours, you were saying like something, and correct me if I'm wrong, you're saying like delay is almost like counterpoint, reverb is like the resonance from the conical brass, and then like the actual punch, right, is like this cylindrical, right? You're saying something like that, right?
Yeah.
Talk to us about that conversion a little bit, like, because you're converting from DAW to orchestra, and then now orchestra to wind band, right? So talk to us a little bit about that conversion in your head.
Yeah, sure. That's one of my friends, like, also he's major in like, his master is major in computer music, then he goes to composition for his doctor. Actually, he told me that when I was first year at like computer music, like first year master at computer music, at that time I was like, oh, how can that happen? Because I was thinking, because we usually like use the laptop to, computer music. Sometimes the sound is really weird, like a weird synthesizer or kind of noisy stuff lasting for like 5 minutes and never ended. Sometimes we have that kind of sound, and he said that can come out by the symphony orchestra. I was like, wow. And I think now I kind of understand that. Yes, kind of, or how to do that sound using orchestra is very fun. Like, even though actually I think some techniques we are using in DAW, like we are having pad to combining all the sounds together. Although when I just listen to that part, I can't tell there's a pad, but definitely there has a pad. I think that pad is kind of like a string part, like you are combining all the instruments together.
Yeah.
And also, delay is kind of like a counterpoint, or you can use a counterpoint, or you can have different instruments happening in different time to sound like a delay stuff. Yeah.
Well, that's wonderful, and so we are really looking forward to having you. I'm really honored to be able to guest conduct one of your pieces, especially the, I guess, somewhat premiere of the wind version, right? So what are you looking most forward to at the festival? You know, this is a festival, as I've told you already, that has just a lot of Thai people, but also just is a general like Asia regional festival right now for new music in general, but especially new wind music. So, you know, and we're really lucky to have someone with such a diverse background like yourself. And so just talk to us about what you're looking forward most to about the festival in Thailand.
Yeah, sure. Oh, yeah. I mean, the most looking for, of course, like travel to Thailand. Yes. Hopefully can enjoy the food and the weather and stuff there. Yeah. Also, yeah, sure. I'm always kind of want to put some Oriental stuff into my music, and also, looking forward to the wind band part, because I think actually before I came to US, I'm not heard a lot about wind band stuff in China. Yeah, so kind of very excited about how well my piece show in wind band version. Yes.
Yeah, you're bringing out, you know, the Chinese influences and that part of your identity in there,
sure.
and I think that's going to be really cool and really inspiring to everyone. So. We can't tell you again how much we're looking forward to having you. Again, really honored to be conducting your piece, and thank you so much for joining me today and giving us a little bit of your time and insight. I think a lot of people in Thailand will be really moved by your story. I know a lot of people who start with DAW audio, you know, garage band or something, and you know, they think that the symphony orchestra or large ensemble is so far away. And it's really not, you know. Not to say that your journey was easy whatsoever. I know you worked very hard, but we're really lucky to have you. Really looking forward to guest conducting your piece. I know the players at Kasetsart University are really looking forward to it as well. So thank you so much, Bob.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
ขอบคุณมาก
Thank you.
ท่านผู้ชม